say?
You're good now.
Like, which Google account am I under? Does it say
Oh,
Funsley or just,
I don't know.
I gotta tell you, I can if I mute my camera.
Funsley, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So Lesnar Reigns. Okay. And are we calling it? What do we call it? Are we calling it the Decap Sports Report? My only thing with that is because we don't talk about sports, we just talk about wrestling.
Yeah. I don't know. We can call it that until we come up with something better.
Okay.
It needs to keep with decap though.
Decap. I don't know what it's called decap.
Running the ropes. I don't know. Oh, that's what sell it, asshole. I don't know who this kid is, but it is not good.
I know. We'll figure it out later. All right, ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of the new Decap Wrestling Review Show. I am the K in Decap. I am Brian Funsley, here with my tag team partner, tagging in, my buddy Cole. How you doing, Cole?
I'm doing great. Glad to be back.
Well, let's talk. I'm going to talk a little bit before we get into all this stuff. Again, this is going to be a wrestling-centered show. It's going to be about opinions, strong opinions, interpretations, expectations of the world of wrestling. We did a like-minded thing about 3 or 4 years ago. It's called the Decap Sports Report. I'm from New York. Cole, you're from West Virginia, I believe.
I'm not from Hillbilly State, thank you. I'm from southwestern Virginia.
Mm-hmm. And
thank you.
We've been friends for a while, wrestling buddies, but also we have different opinions. I'm a Northeastern wrestling fan. He's a Southern wrestling fan. I was basically only exposed to WWE growing up. He had more stuff. And because of all those things, we've molded into different people. And I think that we encompass a good portion of not the WWE universe, because that's not big enough, the entire wrestling fan base, the entire wrestling sphere of influence, if you will. And so every week we're going to come at you with opinions, reviews of certain pay-per-views, predictions, which is the main topic of tonight, which of course is the Royal Rumble, one of the most important Royal Rumbles of all time because the belt is on the line. But before we get to that, let's talk about the go-home show before the Royal Rumble, which would be January 18th, Monday Night Raw. Real quick, Cole, what were your thoughts about this past Monday's Raw?
Thoughts about the way it went off of the air. You go off of the air and you see in Bray give Sister Abigail to Brock Lesnar, who's been speared twice by Roman Reigns in the process, and he got beat down in the meantime. It leads you to believe something may good come of Bray. I mean, he doesn't win on Sundays yet. Not against WWE made talent anyways. So hopefully he can actually get into it and actually make a name for himself. He can get a push or get a rub from somebody and get going here.
Well, we have talked about in the lead up to this show, we discussed our interest in doing this again, that I could see really big plans for Bray at WrestleMania, mostly because of the injuries. And maybe Bray doesn't deserve to be slighted in that regard to say, well, he needs injuries to get up in that upper echelon. But they need him in there right now. And that's my takeaway from this past Raw. The Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns stuff was great, but the last thing you saw was Bray Wyatt delivering the Sister Abigail to Brock, putting him down. He sold it. That's the last thing you see. And how does that come into the Royal Rumble? It'll be interesting. We'll talk more about the Royal Rumble later. What do you think about the Lesnar-Reigns feud as it is? Do you think it even is a feud? Is there going to be a payoff? Is this just a placeholder? What do you think about this whole thing? Basically, it's been started in the last 2 weeks. It started at the end of Raw last week and then the beginning of Raw tonight. But even at the end of Raw, we didn't get a final conclusion to it or anything concrete. So what do you think they're trying to do with that?
Well, I mean, their feud started back at WrestleMania last year. Mm-hmm. You never got a resolution to that match. Rollins who came down and stole the heat from both of them, which I would assume they was going to build to that, but they didn't. I mean, I don't know if that was just because he got hurt, they had to take the belt, whatever. But I don't know if he would have held it that long.
Who, Brock or
I
Seth?
think it's something. No, Seth.
I think that
I think it's something.
I think their plan was to keep it on Seth until WrestleMania, but that's just me.
Would they have had? But who would have been Brock?
I thought it was going to be Shield. I thought it was going to be at least Roman Reigns and maybe not Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Although you could have thrown Brock in there too. I don't know. I know what their plans were with The Undertaker and John Cena. And I know Seth Rollins would have been in the it probably would have been Reigns, Brock, and they probably would have done Rollins, Triple H. So maybe this was always coming. I think of anybody in the roster to pull a feud off with Brock Lesnar that would be believable. I think Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt are the only two people that can do it. Undertaker, that's already over. And that was a fine feud. It was good, but that's over. So looking past that, I think it's Reigns or Bray. That's it. And you had both of them involved with angles with Brock coming into this Royal Rumble. So it can go a couple different ways. Which way would you like to see it go?
Well, going back to talking about Bray a little bit, there's been some other pictures come up on Twitter about Bray and his sister Abigail, which will lead either into the Rumble or past that and into Mania, which may secure him the belt at one of those two pay-per-views, and that is Santana Garrett, who is coming in supposedly as Sister Abigail. She's been tweeting pictures of her in the sheet masks and things online. So I don't know if she's going to come in
for herself. Is it possible it's just that?
Maybe once, but I don't think a repetitive factor would keep going on. And it's like it's planted. Like they did it a couple days before Bray did, or not big, but Bray had his moment on Raw with Brock. You know what I mean?
It just seems to me like it's it's too easy. It's too predictable at this point after you see it on Twitter once. Everyone's known about Sister Abigail since he first arrived. It's the name of his move. He's referred to her, and he's referred to her more and more in the coming months, which is the strongest point to your statement that it's probably going to happen. But at the same time, if you're going to do that, make the first appearance of her big. And I conclude the Twitter pictures as an appearance because she is in the garb. And people could Google what she looks like. I would like to see the first physical embodiment of Sister Abigail to be on TV or at the Rumble. I think this Twitter thing kind of feels like, I don't know if that's fitting exactly. Now, what I would like to recollect, I don't know exactly which happened first, but did Bray Wyatt's discussion of Sister Abigail on TV happen before or after the Twitter pictures had come out?
Oh, he was talking about Sister Abigail well before the pictures came out.
So again, I don't know. It would be nice. I think Bray needs he needs something to build up his character. Not necessarily his stable. His stable is fine, but I think adding a new dimension to his character besides wearing a butcher's costume or changing his hat, he needs something a little bit more, because as much as the Bray Wyatt character is over and is a unique, interesting character, it has not had the development that, say, Mankind had or Undertaker had. It's more like it's more almost like a Kamala build where he is what he is, and he goes out there and he does a much better job than Kamala. But I'm just talking about just the character development. It doesn't seem to be there. I don't know if that's because of Bray or not, but that's one of the reasons why I don't necessarily know if Bray should win the title at some point like you do. Should he win one at some point down the road? I don't know, but does it have to be right now? I don't know if I would do it.
It's not just Bray, though, but I mean, at some point, you're going to have to build characters. You're going to have to build a heel. You need to build Bray. You got to quit with all the 50-50 booking on these guys. It's killing their characters. You can't get a rub from anybody without having to give it right back.
Well, that's something that's a large issue with all the booking, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just Bray, and it's not any other faults, but they can't do anything about it, and that's creative, and they need to do a better job with that. You have to give somebody a continuous. You got to give them that momentum, so when they finally get beat, at like a Rumble or a WrestleMania, it gives that huge rub to whatever babyface is coming up.
So getting back to you're absolutely right. We'll talk more about the Rumble and the possible winners and possible outcome in a second. But real quick, back to Raw for just a second. The ending I thought was very well done. The last segment was very well done. Anything else real quick you want to take away from Raw? I know you don't like the New Day. I thought they were brilliant tonight with the trombone funeral and everything. I thought that was great.
Yeah, they remind me of Conan hitting his kazoo all the time. I hate the gimmick. I like them. They're okay in the ring. They're good in the ring. I don't take away anything from them in the ring, but just that shtick, it just gets on my damn nerves.
That's the point. So I'm trying to tell you. Their point is to get on your nerves. That's what a heel does. You're supposed to not like him.
You like a different type of heat than I like. I don't like a little whiny guy who goes around like Triple H has heat. Or he had heat. I don't know if he will go back, but he had heat when he was a bad guy. Flair had heat when he was a bad guy. Brock, when he was a heel, he had heat, but he wasn't just some shtick clown going out there doing his thing, trying to make people just dislike him. They feared him. They didn't want to fight him. They didn't want their guy to fight them because they knew that they were going to be in for an actual fight with this guy.
Did you like Goldust as a heel when he first came in, like 96, 97? When he was
off and on with him.
Transsexual.
When he first came in, I was okay with it, and then he went kind of weird.
But there's different types of heels. There's different types of heat. I don't think you can characterize the New Day as X-Pac heat. I do want to watch them. I find them entertaining, and I'm not a Smark, and Smarks love the New Day. I don't love them as baby faces. I don't cheer for them. I like what they do. I think it's effective. I still don't want to see them win because I think they're obnoxious, but I can appreciate what they do because it does get heat. And you have different ways to get heat, especially in this PG era where you can't like bury people alive or light them on fire. You can't do that shit.
Where's your unicorn horn?
Bro, right? I'll put one on. I like how Big E's is up, and then like I think it's Xavier's is always hanging. He's got erectile dysfunction of the unicorn here, horn. But all right, let's move on real quick. Before we talk about the Rumble, big news. Well, I don't really care. You seem to. But AJ Styles is basically confirmed not only to be in the WWE, he's on the main roster, I guess, at least for one night. Because PW Insider is reporting, and basically that's confirmed that he's going to be at the Royal Rumble. Now, what would he be there to do besides come out? You can't – the card's already set. So there's nowhere else for him to go besides the actual Royal Rumble match. So talk about why you're excited about this. Personally, I'm not that excited, but what do you think about AJ Styles being in the WWE ring, but not only that, being an entry into the Royal Rumble? A Royal Rumble where the title is on the line.
Well, I mean, I like it just because we was talking about earlier. There's so many injuries. They need some new blood. They have to have new people step up. And AJ is a big name in the wrestling business, not necessarily in the WWE.
Right there, real quick. I don't agree. I do not think he's a big name. I think he is a name that people may know, but I don't think he's the guy that's going to make the crowd go nuts when he comes out. If they bring RVD out, they'll go nuts. If they bring Goldust out, they'll go nuts. But AJ Styles is not going to make the pace go nuts.
If you're talking about wrestling as a whole, not just the WWE, if you're talking about it as a whole, AJ is a huge name. The Bullet Club is a big name in wrestling. If you're just watching WWE, which most of the fans who watch that are only interested in that one brand, they're not going to be familiar with any of these guys.
And I'm not a WWE guy only.
Like, most likely, if you like NXT, you're going to be watching some other type of stuff that's like that. You're going to see Ring of Honor. You're going to see your New Japan. You're going to see stuff like that, and you're going to know who AJ is. You're going to know who the Bullet Club are: Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, Tama, and some of those guys didn't come with them, but they got at least three of the guys who now have come over following Finn Balor, Prince Devitt when he was with them, but.
Wait, Finn Balor was in the Bullet Club, or are you talking about New Japan? He was actually in the Bullet Club?
He created the Bullet
I
Club.
didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's another thing that's kind of interesting to see. I'm interested to see if they bought the rights to the Bullet Club name, or if they're going to stick with calling it the Balor Club in the WWE.
You can't. I don't think they're going to be able to sell it because the Young Bucks still work on gimmick, and they're not coming.
Right, but they have a new name. They have a new name now. They're not called the Bullet Club anymore.
Oh, okay. Do you think the Bullet Club carries as much cachet as the NWO DX did? And the reason I ask that, because I know the answer is no, but the reason I ask that is because their gimmick is to just rip off the NWO DX. So as the name, do you think the Bullet Club carries any cachet even close to those other two groups?
No. You're not gonna match anything. Most of the time, you're not gonna match anything that happened during the Attitude Era. You're
not going to match anything but just ripping other stuff off that was more over than you're ever going to be. These guys are never going to be as over as those guys are, especially not just doing the same shtick. And I don't know, I guess maybe it's a tribute, whatever, but when I watched the Young Bucks match, I watched the Young Bucks this past August, July or August, at an event up here in Wappingers Falls, New York. And they spend the whole match doing super kicks, cross chops, and the Too Sweet thing. And that's all they did for 30 minutes. I was bored out of my mind. I thought it was stupid. They have no character of their own. I can't see how these people are as over as they are. And the Young Bucks, they have amazing cachet. You put them on an indie card, it sells out. I don't get it. But this Bullet Club thing, I guess, it may be big. How far do you think they're going to push this?
I don't know. I kind of hope what I kind of hope for the Rumble and moving forward is I hope they put Carl and Doc in NXT with Finn and let them stay in the NXT for quite a while because they both need to season up to build that name in the NXT brand to get it out there for everybody. If AJ wants to come up offhand, that's fine. AJ's made enough name for himself to come up, I think, to the main roster. And
I would agree with that. I'm not saying he's the main eventer, but he could be on the roster.
Yeah, he can do his thing and work his way up while the Bullet Club remains down lower. And then eventually, whenever they're ready, bring up the Bullet Club with Finn, maybe to come assist AJ at some point.
Real quick, I have one point on that. I disagree. I think that the Bullet Club may operate more like the Clique did as a backstage faction, whereas maybe Gallows and Anderson, what they do instead of joining Finn Balor on camera, what if Finn just works with them and puts them over and builds them up the same way that Razor would wrestle Diesel or Shawn would wrestle Razor, and they would put each other over and build each other up so they could operate as a behind the stage team. But on camera, they were not aligned always.
I don't know.
Because
I think it would depend a lot.
You can't turn Finn Balor heel. He's the only real face you have in NXT because Sami Zayn, I think, is going to be gone by WrestleMania as far as gone to the main roster. Hideo Itami's hurt. What other faces do you have to carry the load? I think it's a better idea to give these guys as heels to feed to Finn Balor. Balor could put over.
Finn is actually a better heel. That's what he was in New Japan.
But that's fine. I will let you speak to that. But what I'm asking is, who would be the babyface then in NXT? Joe's turned. Who would it be? I don't know right now.
They're going to bring, or they got who's the guy who reminds me of Bobby Lashley down there? I can't think of the cat's name.
Tyson Cruz. Is it Tyson Cruz or Tyrone Cruz?
Something Cruz.
I think it's Tyson Cruz.
But yeah,
okay.
They may be bringing him up. I don't know.
He could be a good monster to let these guys feed in. That would be all right. I like him. I don't know. Now, real quick, do you think they're going to change AJ Styles' finish because his finish to the WWE fans? And I know I was watching AJ Styles like in 2003 in TNA when they used to be on Fox Sports. But to most of the WWE people, his move is the Divas move. His move is the Michelle McCool stupid move. Do you think they're going to give him a new finish? Yeah, the Styles Clash.
I hope he doesn't. I don't think they're going to let him do it. Hell, if they won't let Seth Rollins do a curb stomp or a buckle bomb, how are they going to let AJ do that friggin' Styles Clash and break somebody's neck?
Well, they still let Joe do the Muscle Buster. He actually
They
almost
do.
killed a guy doing it. I don't know how you break
people-
someone's neck through the Muscle Buster though. And Bret Hart was
I
pissed.
was going to say, how many people's necks has Joe broke doing that?
I don't like the Styles Clash as a move. And also it has an association with the Divas. Like, for example, the handspring elbow was a move in Japan that people use all the time. But here in the WWE mainstream fan base, that's a chick move. The same thing for the Styles Clash. So I think they might have to repackage him a little bit. The question will be the repackaging that they will do on him. He's not coming in as Bullet Club AJ Styles. He's not. He's not going to come in as religious weird freak AJ Styles from 3 years ago. He's not. They're going to put a new twist on him. And they might go back a couple years, like the way they would CM Punk. When CM Punk came in, they went back to his previous ROH gimmicks and brought them back in the fold. But for whatever they do with him, it's going to piss people off. They're going to get mad, and that's going to be funny for me to watch. That's what I'm most interested to see, how they can fuck with AJ Styles and piss all you guys off.
They won't. I hope they don't align him with Bullet Club right away. I'd rather it develop along the way as it goes. And
real quick, what do you think the way to debut? Is it face or a heel?
For AJ to debut?
Mm-hmm.
AJ should debut. I mean, I'll say it this way: if AJ debuts as a heel, they need to bring Joe up as a face. They need to bring Joe up as a heel and get Joe out of NXT.
Is that a WrestleMania match though? Do we really want to this WrestleMania 32 in AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium? I don't care what the fuck it's called. Dallas Cowboys Stadium, the biggest stadium in the world, Mecca, the Roman Coliseum. You're gonna put Samoa Joe and AJ Styles on the card, a match that people see 3,000 fucking times. I don't know if that's worth it. I don't know.
How many times have you seen it for the WWE?
Like, what is? No. I don't know. People loved it when Daniel Bryan and CM Punk fucking even looked at each other. So I guess people will mark out for it. I don't know.
And they're gonna have they're gonna have Sammy and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
We can get to that down the road here.
All right. Down the road.
Do you want to hit on the Rumble real quick? We can start on it.
Yeah. So the Royal Rumble, of course, the title's on the line. The undercard, real quick, looks pretty good. The tag match should be pretty good. Last Man Standing should be pretty good. Kalisto.
When you say the tag match, are you talking about the match to get into the Rumble tag match?
No, I mean the New Day and who are they wrestling?
Because they're having on the pre-show. You know how they do the pre-shows now before the pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a 4-team match, and the winners get into the Rumble as their prize for winning the match.
I was trying.
And for whatever reason,
go ahead.
For whatever reason, they have Darren Young teaming with Sandow. I don't. Where the hell is Titus O'Neil?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's Young and Sandow, the Dudleys, Ascension, and Mark Henry and Jack Swagger. Who I would like to see? I would like to see Sandow in it. They're not going to do anything with him anyway, so it'll be a waste. So it's probably going to be Mark Henry and Jack Swagger because they have the most individual momentum. The Dudleys are okay, but you know the Dudleys aren't going to have any. I don't know. None of those guys are going to have an impact in the Rumble. So actually, I don't really even care. It'll be interesting though. I'm trying to remember exactly how the booking went, but when I went to a indie Royal Rumble-esque show, and the opening match on the card was a four corners match. I'm trying to remember exactly how the booking went, but in the end, the person who won it would come in 30th, and then I think the last person eliminated would come in first. Anything you do the night of the Rumble to add intrigue to the actual match is fine by me. So no, that actually seems kind of cool. My only problem is that no one in the match is credible.
Right.
I mean,
there's nobody in there that's going to surprise you. I mean, nobody in that match is going to win the Rumble.
No, I would like to see Sandow win it just because I like Sandow, and he's a guy that's been jobbed by the creative because they never do anything with him. He's like the new Zack Ryder.
No.
Okay, so let's go through these real quick. So Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, last man standing for the IC title. Who you got?
I'm gonna take Kevin Owens from the standpoint that I'd like to see him and Sammy fight for the belt at Mania. And
I
not
want to
free Dean
see.
Ambrose for other things.
I like Ambrose a lot better. Kevin Owens has put on a lot of weight since the summer. He looks like a fucking teddy bear, angry little teddy bear. I don't like him. However, I would rather see the belt off Dean so they could do something better for him come WrestleMania.
Right.
It's the Intercontinental title is definitely better than it was 3 or 4 years ago, but it's still a mid-card trap. At this point, Kevin Owens is, I think, a mid-carder. He had his main event glimpse, just like Ken Shamrock did when he first came in. But after that, he reverted back to the mid-card. I think that's what's going to happen to Kevin Owens. That's fine. You need mid-card bad guys. That's fine. I think Dean Ambrose can want to bigger, better things. Hopefully, Kevin Owens wins for that respect. All right, Alberto Del Rio versus Kalisto. What you got?
Honestly, the way they booked those guys over the past 2 weeks, I could care less. I'd like to see Kalisto win. I really don't give a crap about it. It's for the United States title to 2 Mexican guys that one gets pinned Monday and the other guy gets pinned on Tuesday. And Del Rio pinned John Cena clean in the ring to win the title after he kept it for, 6 or 8 months. And then you're going to tell me that Kalisto beats Del Rio clean in 3 or 4 minutes on Raw. So are you telling me that Kalisto can now pin John Cena?
Not only that, that there is something to that. Not that much, but I'll give you a little bit. But I just think they're making the title look like shit. I don't know if they did that just to say, hey, Kalisto, you were a U.S. champion for literally 24 hours.
Are they trying to fulfill a contract obligation they had?
Yeah, or just so they can say, just like when they say, Dolph Ziggler is a former world champion for a week and a half.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing. I don't know.
It's like Raven being the most decorated champion in WWE history.
Exactly, because he won the Hardcore title 47 times in one night or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kalisto is a good talent. Alberto's a good talent. I think the match will be fine. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, though. I have no idea what they're doing with the title. I don't know who's going to carry WrestleMania. Go ahead.
I wish they'd have brought Alberto in like he was wrestling when he was at Lucha and just let him do his own thing because he was killing it in Lucha Underground.
Alberto Del Rio is a great hand. He's great, but he has lost so much charisma though. When he first came in as the aristocrat, he still spoke broken English, but what he said had meaning. He can't cut a promo at this point. He sounds fucking stupid.
Well, he came here, but before he came back the second time, when he was at Lucha, he was cutting great promos. It's just when he gets back here, they won't let him talk.
You think that's what it is?
They put him with, yeah. I mean, you can go back and watch Lucha, watch him do his promos and shit. But they put him with Zeb Coulter to try to.
That was a dud. That was fucking terrible.
The racist comments that got him fired to begin with.
My biggest problem with WWE Creative, and I don't know if it's because they keep turning it over. No, this has been a long-term policy. It's 3 months. 3 months, and after that, you're supposed to fucking forget everything that's ever happened in the history of the wrestling business. Unless it's something advantageous for an angle. Are we supposed to act like we didn't watch Zeb Coulter call Alberto Del Rio a dirty fucking Mexican, a dirty wetback 3 years ago? We're just supposed to forget that happened. Okay. Fuck you. It's fucking stupid. That was a terrible idea. Bringing Del Rio in was not. But what are they doing?
He was on a rascal. Why was he on a rascal?
I don't know. I don't know if that was a shoot or a work. I don't know.
I don't either.
But it was almost face-like. You wouldn't if you. That's some kind of like heel heat. If you come out in a rascal and just kind of scoot around the ring, put a hammerlock on him. That's a heel kind of thing to do.
Could they not give him one of those little wrestling rings from the WrestleMania 3? I mean, can we not do that for the man?
I don't know. That's actually pretty funny. But I don't know if they even knew what they were doing. with him in the first place because whatever they did was fucked. So now they did nothing with him for a month. Now they got this League of Nations bullshit going on. I think the match will be good, but both these guys have no direction right now, and partly because of the booking, because you're hot-shotting the title around. All that really matters in this match is that they both want the title and that they're both mad at each other. That's about it. But afterwards, I don't know what to do with either of them. Does the League of Nations go and have a 4-on-4 shit show tag match at WrestleMania? And if so, does the title have to be in there? If not, give it to Kalisto and let him wrestle fucking, I don't know. Let him fucking wrestle Rusev. No, he'll be in that other tag match. Let him wrestle some other. Let him wrestle The Miz. Who gives a shit? I don't know. I just think it'll be actually a pretty decent match. Charlotte and Becky Lynch with your boy Ric Flair.
Charlotte and Becky.
Mm-hmm.
It could be good. It just depends on how much time they're going to give the girls. I mean, it's not. You know how. I assume you watch. Yes.
What? Yeah. You cut out for a second. What?
So you know how good the girls can be if they're given the proper time and allowed to do what they can. Vince going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so. I just have my doubts on Vince on that one, not the talent and so much.
Well, here's my anticipation for the booking of the Rumble. You got 4 undercard matches, the pre-show match, and then the actual Rumble match. I think they'll give Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens about 35 to 40 minutes. They'll give the U.S. title 15 minutes. They'll give the tag team championship, which we haven't talked about yet, about 15 minutes, maybe 20. I think they'll give the Divas about 10, and then the rest of that time before the Rumble match, which should probably take about an hour and 20 minutes, will be some kind of promo spot where Stephanie and Vince come out and bullshit. I think that this match, Charlotte and Becky, deserves about 15 minutes. I don't know if they'll give it to them, but who do you want to see come out of this? Charlotte's got a problem. Her dad way outshines her. I don't know if it was her idea to put her dad with her, but it's a fucking terrible idea because he's so much more charismatic than her. He's so much more interesting than her. Anything he does is interesting. And that's not a knock to her. It's just you put him with anybody. Even when he was with Triple H, Ric Flair was more entertaining in the matches sometimes. Remember when Booker T and Triple H at WrestleMania? Ric Flair stole the show just because of his presence. It's not doing her a service. So I don't know what they do. There's a little heat maybe because Charlotte and Rick doesn't agree on this match actually happening. Maybe they do a split. I don't know. But Charlotte is title reign has been a disaster. She's deserved to get it, but the reign I don't know about.
If they're going to use all that shine that Rick gives off and turn it into heat for Charlotte, that would work for me. That'd be a good payoff.
But they do that one week and they don't do it the next week. Again, the creative's fucked.
I mean, they got to do it's got to be a big blow up. Like Rick's never going to be able to come back with Charlotte full heel and just start going.
So she turned heel on her father?
Yeah.
Maybe you plant the seed for that here and then you do that at WrestleMania?
Could. As long as that's the payoff for why they keep him with her, I'm okay with that, but I don't know that that's what they're doing.
All right. And then the tag team championships, New Day and Usos. You don't give a shit about
how awesome match. I don't give a damn about it. How awesome is it when Hunter turns on Flair?
That's great.
It's great. It's great. Gives you great heat. For the shine he steals from you and then you're gonna pull that heel shit, it's great for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or maybe that happens tonight at the Rumble, and then wishful thinking, and then he comes back at WrestleMania and maybe screws her out of the title or something.
But you can't really get a payoff on it. You can't really get unless I don't think Charlotte's going to fight Rick.
No,
I think Rick.
No, I don't think so. You're going to
you're not really going to get a payoff on it.
His daughter. I don't
think you're going to get a payoff on it. So I don't know why. I think once it's cut, just let it be cut, and then maybe reunite him in a couple years down the road or something.
Just do something with him. I mean, he's too important of a figure not to have something with him. Real quick, New Day retains. Bank on it. All right, so the Royal Rumble match itself. Any predictions real quick for surprise entries besides AJ? Who you got on your
Besides
list of people you want to
AJ,
see? Give me 3 people you want to see.
3 people I want to see. My homer pick is H.
I think he's going to be in it. But I would agree with you.
I'm pretty sure that's a guarantee that he will be in it.
Mhm.
So that's my homer pick. Of course, we've already so I'll leave him out.
Who? You
My
cut out
far
again.
off.
Are you on your phone?
What's that?
Are you on your
No,
phone?
I'm on my laptop.
All right. Who'd you say?
I said we had already talked about AJ, so I was going to
Oh,
leave
yeah.
him out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I'd like to see Cesaro. I don't know where his injury's at though.
I don't think so.
But he's been out for a while. I'd like to see him come back. And of course, everybody screams for Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel Bryan's out. I don't think you'll ever see him again in the WWE ring as a wrestler.
The thing about it is, you got to keep him far away because he should not have been in the Rumble last year. And I'll stick by this real quick because once he's in the vicinity of the World Championship and he doesn't win it because you can't put it on a broken neck motherfucker like him, then people are gonna go fucking nuts. So keep him far away from it. I think there'd be a disservice to everybody in the Rumble if Daniel Bryan comes in because they'd be so fixated on him. I think H is a discern pop in. I'm hearing RVD. Don't care. The only surprise entries I like are people that I was a mark for back in the day. Like I remember the 40-man Royal Rumble year. I did this pool and I got picked number 32. And if 32 won, I would get $20 or whatever. 32 was Diesel. So my initial reaction was, well, fuck, I'm not going to win. But then I was so excited to see fucking Diesel. So I want to see somebody who I haven't seen in like 5 or 10 years. Booker T has almost been long enough that I would be surprised by that. I don't want to see JB Allen again, though. Fuck that.
Could Jake the Snake make an appearance?
DDP would be fine.
He was there last year now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or Scott Hall looks
but,
pretty good lately. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they may be able to do either one of those. I don't know.
Sting's not coming back.
Sting's dead.
What if they put? Let me just ask this: would they bring the Undertaker into the Rumble match because it's for the world title? Would they bring him in?
Now you get to a point. I was saving that one, but yes. How awesome would it be? I mean,
well, I said it first.
What's the Undertaker going to do for his WrestleMania match? We've been long discussing this, and we're not really sure.
I don't think we have enough time to talk about tonight. I'm going to tell you that. That could be like the whole week. But what I'm saying is, since it is such a big Rumble match, you're talking about surprise entries. He's been around. He's active. He's good. Put him in there for 15 minutes. But I wonder. Well, I know it would hurt his character to lose, but if he loses and it builds a feud for WrestleMania, then it's something.
There you go. Now you're getting it. So either
thank you.
I'd be good if he won it, but I would be just as good if he
he's
didn't.
Not gonna fucking win it. You fucking nuts.
Why wouldn't he win it?
Because he has no impact on the title picture right now. The title picture right now.
He can win it. He can win it at Rumble, take it to WrestleMania, win his match, and leave it in the middle of the ring and walk out, and that's his last match.
Okay, so then what do you do with Roman, Brock, Triple H, Bray? The people who are actually in the title picture right now, what do you do with them?
They can still fight. They can still have their little. Good God, Stacy Keibler's on TV. They can have they can have whatever they're doing go on, and they can still keep doing it. It just wouldn't be for the title, you know. I mean, that's okay. As soon as WrestleMania is over, they can start their next run with whoever.
So you're saying that since this is going to be Undertaker's, actually, the initial reaction to it was you're a fucking idiot. But now that I'm thinking about it, Undertaker, this is going to be his last Rumble or last WrestleMania by all accounts, correct?
Yes.
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame this year, correct?
Should be, yes.
Well, it's Texas. I think he's going in. Is there a better possible send off than that?
Not to me, and that's why I put it out there.
He should. my honest opinion, Taker and Cena was going to happen. My honest opinion is that would have been the main event of WrestleMania, no matter who was in the title match. But if you have Undertaker with the belt, you guarantee he's going to be in the main event. My problem with that is just that you have built up 3 interesting storylines for the belt. You have Roman getting fucked, you have Brock getting fucked, you have Bray on the rise, and to do that, it cuts those 3 storylines right the fuck off. Now, yeah, you could do something with them, but the impetus of all 3 of those storylines is the title. So I want one of them to get it, or Triple H, because that ties into Roman Reigns' storyline.
Right, and we can talk about those 2 in a minute because you're going to have another draw on that match later on. But you're telling me you wouldn't want to see Brock and
No.
Bray?
Oh, Brock and Bray. I thought you were going to say Brock and Taker again for the title. I don't want to see that shit.
No. Brock and Bray. You wouldn't want to see them without the title.
I think that's what they should do with Brock.
Okay, so give Taker the title. Let him have his match for the belt. Do Brock and Bray. And then you can do Triple H and the Authority versus Roman and the Samoan Dynasty.
So who's in the title match with Undertaker?
I don't know.
Well, that's important. You got to give someone that matters in that match. That's what I'm saying.
But they can work on that. They can work on that. It's a work in progress here.
Real quick, we gotta get off Undertaker. I'm going to end it on this, and we'll come back to another episode. I almost would rather see Taker sit out this WrestleMania and come back next year to fight Cena. That's the match I've wanted to see for 3 years at WrestleMania. I would rather him sit out and see it next year than come in and do some bullshit, stupid match this year with fucking Kevin Owens. That's the name that people are floating around because he's such a fucking indie fucking darling. But it doesn't make any fucking sense. He has no chance against The Undertaker. I don't know. So if he's in the Rumble, there has to be some kind of build to WrestleMania, which means his opponent has to be in the Rumble. Again, I don't know. It's an interesting idea, though. Let's talk about the people who actually matter to the title picture. Bray, Roman, Brock, Triple H. We're all under the assumption Triple H is going to be in the Rumble, right?
I am under the assumption he will be in, and I'm also reading that he is the favorite to win it.
Yeah. He's going to be 30, and he's going to win it. I agree. And I mean, the one thing we do have in common, we are both major Triple H marks from back in the day. And fuck you if you don't like him. He was a star before he got married. He didn't get married to her until like 2004. Shut the fuck up.
And not only that, if you take the wrestling aside and just look at what he's doing now with NXT.
Oh, he's so
he knows what the people
so good at what he's doing right now. Oh, the business is in such good hands with him. I'm so pumped. He's done such a great job, and he's gotten so much shit over the years, and not all, but mostly undeserved. He does deserve one more. He hasn't had the belt since 2011. This would give him 14. Let's say they do a match and he loses it and wins it back. Let's say he gets to 15 by like say SummerSlam. That ties him with Cena. Who knows what you do with that?
And that leaves them one behind Mr. Ric Flair.
All right. I think that's a safe assumption. If that doesn't happen, who would you want to see win it? Bray, Roman. Roman can't win it from this regard.
He can't walk out with it.
They've talked about him being the underdog so much. The common thought would be, well, he's going to win because they're burying him so much. But if he wins, what the fuck is the storyline on Monday night? You've already had a special referee match. Okay, now you put him against 29 people when he comes in number 1. If he comes through that with the title, what the fuck do you do next? Hit him with a bus? What the fuck could you possibly do to him? Because doing that, he would have beaten Brock Lesnar. So even that wouldn't be such a big threat. I don't think there's no way he wins it. And I love Roman actually. I think he's great. I think he could be a really good champion one day, but I can't see him winning this just from a booking standpoint. It doesn't make any logical sense. What the fuck do you do Monday if he wins? What the fuck is Vince going to do? Hit him with a wrecking ball? Shoot him? So no,
Roman bring back John Cena with the Authority.
John Cena's not turning heel. He makes too much money on merch. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking mark or smark. All right, so Roman can't win it. Can Jericho win it? No, right? No. He's an upper mid card face. AJ Styles better not fucking win it. I swear to fucking God.
That would be hilarious. That'll be a great show if he does win it.
I'm going to throw in one extra name just to make you fucking people happy. I got 3 left. Bray, Brock, and maybe he loses the Intercontinental title match, Kevin Owens. Maybe he'll get like a Mankind title run where it's like, oh, fuck, no one else is around. Fucking give it to him. I don't know. They're just throwing that out there. Brock?
I'm looking for Bray's guys to rob Brock. They're going to pull Brock out. They're going to get Brock out of the ring.
I think Bray Brock is the feud. I think that's the feud. But if you do that...
What I found to be...
Go ahead.
What I was thinking about... I don't know, last week, it doesn't make a shit. I was thinking about it sometime. Anyways, if you got Triple H in the ring with Roman and say, it doesn't make a damn, Brock or somebody, say there's 3 of them out there and they team up, or say Bray's out there and they all team up on Brock and get Brock out of the ring, and then they fuck around and get Bray out of the ring. It's H and Roman, and Roman ends up chucking H out, and then Triple H pulls over Roman, right? So there's nobody in the ring, but there's still one guy left to come out. What if it's just fucking Seth Rollins, who is not ready now to fight?
He is not even close.
Will be ready by WrestleMania.
Bro. He cannot
Would be ready by WrestleMania. It would be funny
to
have him walk out and win the belt.
He'll have to get one of those 3 carts to come down Texas fucking.
Hey, that's fine. All he's got to do is stand in the ring and he wins the match.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's just got to make it to the ring.
No.
And he wins.
As much as I'd like to see Bob Boyd do that, no. Okay, so you got to kind of look forward to look back at the Royal Rumble here. Triple H, Roman, money. Bray and Brock, big money. Taker and KO, fuck it. I don't even give a shit. Let KO come out there and say, I'm not afraid of the dead man. I'm fucking teddy bear ass bitch, and let Taker fucking kill him. And let Taker come fight Cena next year. That's fine.
Taker versus Angle?
Okay, now that's another name. Did we mention that earlier? Kurt Angle's contract will be up before WrestleMania. Personally, I'd rather see Taker.
I had him last year.
If I could pick anybody for Kurt Angle to come in against, I would pick Brock number 1. Taker would be probably number 2. Well, Cena would be number 1, but Cena's not around.
Well, see, to me, if this was last year, and you could have, but they didn't, Rusev is the surefire home run hit.
He's way too weak now, though.
Now, yes, but not then.
No, then would have been fine. What if you do Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe in an indie fuckboy triple threat match for the United States Championship?
So you're doing a TNA match for the WWE Championship?
No, U.S. title.
AJ's going to win the belt. You know AJ's going to win the belt at the Rumble.
That fucking happens. There's not going to be a fucking show next week. It'll be fucking dead. Fucking ridiculous. All right, so if you were going to put odds on this, Triple H is the runaway favorite to win this thing. He hasn't been on TV in 4 weeks. People forgot about him. He only got speared, so he's not dead in kayfabe. He's not dead in shoot. And he deserves one more run. Fuck it. You know what? It would get heat because people fucking hate him for no fucking reason other than the fact they're fucking jealous. So fuck it. Give him the belt.
I want to see what his side plates are going to be. Plus, he needs to do it for Big Lynn. He got to do it for Lemmy. You got to get the music out there at least one more time.
Fucking shit. And then you have The Rock in Roman's corner at WrestleMania. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are all basically the possible winners of this match. There's a list of contenders for it, and it's like Sheamus. Okay.
I think everybody saw where he's.
What's that?
I think everybody saw where he stood with the wrestling, the belt, with the briefcase.
That's the only way he's ever going to win a belt. It's fucking terrible. All right. Anything else about the Rumble?
No. Who do you think should win? Who would you want to see win it?
I want to see, as just a fan, I want to see Triple H win it. As a logical, pseudo make pretend I can book this shit better than you motherfuckers, Triple H should still win it. I think Triple H is is a clear choice to win this thing from so many different angles. I still like Roman as a face, and I have since last year. And he's gotten a lot better since last year. But the way things have been built up, Stone Cold got fucked for 11 months and only got his comeuppance from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. And you forget, when the Vince McMahon feud actually started that year, Stone Cold did not win the Rumble. Do you know who won the Rumble that year before Stone Cold's big match at WrestleMania? Vince McMahon.
What year was it?
99. So they fucked him all the way up to WrestleMania. You got to get fucked if you're going to be the sympathetic babyface to the Authority. So if he wins this match, what the fuck's the point? He's already beaten them at every turn.
Yeah, there's no way he can win it. There's out of it, and if you don't let Roman walk out with it, you have to let Triple H walk out, or the only other one I could see them letting walk out, who they did put over in the last couple Royal Rumbles, is Bray. They make Bray look strong in the past few Rumbles.
I say they get I say they get Roman out before Brock comes in and before Triple H comes in. Triple H comes in at 30. Let's say Brock comes in at like 19. I think by number 15, all the Wyatts are in and they get rid of Roman. Then you do a Roman, Bray, Brock feud at Elimination Chamber, fuck Fastlane, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Fuck Lane.
Yeah, Fastlane's supposed to be setting up for to be a big pay-per-view.
Well, let Roman win that, get the number one contendership, then you have Bray and Brock left. But I think you keep Roman and Triple H away from each other in this Rumble match. And Roman and Brock, for that matter. Because you could still make money on that at SummerSlam or anywhere down the road.
If they put H and Roman together, it'd have to be something. It wouldn't be, hey, we're going to sit here and fight. It'd have to be like Roman doesn't see him coming and he just dumps him over. Like catches him off guard. It'd just have to be something like that.
Or you can have the League of Nations throw Roman out. But I think Roman's got to be out by the time Brock comes in. That's just my opinion.
Or, they could just let H bring the sledgehammer in and beat him down from behind because he's in the chair.
No disqualification.
Right. He just hit him with the sledgehammer a few times.
Actually, now that I think about it, there's been many times where Royal Rumble main event participants have met together in the Rumble. Rock Austin did before WrestleMania 17. Triple H, Randy Orton did before WrestleMania 25. It has happened numerous times. But because these guys have prior heat, I wouldn't do it. Because Roman Reigns put him on the shelf 3 weeks ago, I don't want to see it because I want that to last until WrestleMania. Slow burn a little.
Can we put bets in for Maven to come back and throw Undertaker out again?
Can you imagine they put Undertaker in the Rumble? That was one of the best Rumble moments of all time. Let's wrap it up. Besides that one, because that's obviously number one. Favorite Royal Rumble moment or match?
2002. H wins after his comeback.
Which was the first comeback Royal Rumble angle, and there were like 3 or 4 after, and it was so fucking stupid. Like when Edge came out that one year, I was like, oh, fucking great. He's going to win now. He asked him when he got hurt. It's like a rule.
Well, yeah, Cena did it after that too, but I'll always liked H because he didn't necessarily come back at the Rumble. He came back at MSG, but it led into the Rumble very shortly thereafter, and took his WrestleMania when he came back jacked as fuck.
Oh my God, he was so fucking roided out. I would say my favorite because I like that wrestling should be somewhat of a shoot, that it should make sense as an athletic simulation. Randy Orton winning the Rumble with Legacy made sense. That was awesome because it made sense. It was different and it worked. And it put Randy Orton so huge. Oh, he was so over back then. And people shit on that because Undertaker and Shawn Michaels stole the show at WrestleMania. The main event was kind of a fart. Although if you watch it on its own, I watched it this week. It's not a terrible match. It's okay. They underdelivered, partly because they were probably rattled. But that feud was fucking great, and he was fucking over as a heel. What the fuck do you want to say?
when Austin got thrown out and came back in and threw the fucker out again to win it.
With Bret
Was
Hart.
that his second one or his first one? I don't remember.
That
But
was
he got thrown out.
that
and
was
just come right
Stone
back in.
Cold's first Rumble win, which was 97. That was awesome. Yeah. All right, so leave comments, send in questions, send in reactions, whatever the fuck you want to do. We're gonna do this every week. Enjoy the Royal Rumble, Triple H all the way. Fuck you, Smarks. Kevin Owens not going to the Royal Rumble. Any last words, Cole?
AJ Styles will.
Fuck you. That's
AJ
it. I'm turning it off. See you next week.